Well, hello. How are you guys doing today? Great to see all of you here. Great to see all you high manifestors. All right. So let's get into our question for today. So basically the question is about what's the difference between expecting what you want to arrive or being in the state as if you have it already. So some of you guys may get confused and they say, well, Mark, a lot of teachers, they talk about you have to act as if you already have what you want. But if you expect it to come in, isn't that saying that you're not acting as if you're given a contrary vibration of it? So what's going on here, right? So well, here's what happens. The bottom line is when you're manifesting and creating your whatever it is you want in your life, a lot of the stuff we talk about, it seems easy, right? But it's not easy to implement. And the reason why it's not easy to implement because our minds just don't think the way that the universe actually works. So when they say, well, you don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you are. If you want to get abundance or money, you have to act abundant and act wealthy already. So it's not easy to do that, right? How do you act wealthy? How do I convince myself in the moment that I'm wealthy, but I have all these bills, I don't have enough money, I'm not getting what I want? It's difficult to do that, right? And I agree with you. I'm not saying that it's just something you got to turn on, but the law is the law. That's how it works. So here's an easier way for you to get into that state. So instead, if you find it difficult to act as if or to be that thing in the moment, then there's a loophole you can take that'll get you there a lot faster. Instead of acting like you have it or it's there already, why don't you expect it to come? You see, when you expect something, it takes off a lot more or a lot less resistance. A lot more resistance are gone. There's no more resistance there because you're not trying to force feed or be in that state in that moment. Now, why is this so powerful and why does this work? Well, if you don't know this, when you expect something, it's the same as if it's happening in the moment. The difference is the resistance becomes a lot less. So let me make an analogy to make this simple for you to get this. All right, so let me show you how powerful this is. You do it every day and you're gonna see it in your real life. All right, so let's say you order something from the internet, from the Amazon or something, to shop. And when you order your package, you will get a confirmation number, right? So they give you a confirmation number and said, here's your package. And some sites will even email you a couple hours later and say your package has been shipped. Here's your tracking number, correct? So now you look at your package and you say, okay, my package is coming. Now look, there's about a 97% chance that you will get your package. 3% chance the package will get lost. So do you sit at home and do you wonder and hope, man, I hope I get my package? You automatically know your package is coming, right? You have your confirmation number, you have your tracking number, so you know it's coming to you. So what do? You live your life every day as if you know it's coming. You're not there trying to hope, you just know my package is coming. And boom, your package arrives. That's the mindset. If you cannot develop that being in the moment, that act as if in the moment, then you can do the next best thing. Why don't you expect it to come in? That will take you a lot farther, because you see, when you expect something, it's the same thing as being in the moment. Expectation is also in the present. Expectation relieves the resistance, so you don't have that resistance anymore towards your desire. So when your teacher said, well, you gotta act as if in the moment, you gotta do it, okay, that's great. You can implement that, that's the way. But there's other ways you can do it. And the one way I just showed you now is the expectation mode. I actually believe the expectation is actually more powerful, in my opinion, in my experience. I believe that's more powerful because but the reason why it's more powerful, in my opinion, is because there is no attachment or resistance to it. When you are trying to be something in the present moment, it takes a lot of energy because your mind isn't convinced that you're wealthy? Well, you got to act wealthy, Mark. You got to be wealthy. Well, how do I act like wealth? Well, what's easier, acting wealthy or expecting wealth? So which one's easier for you to get? Think about it. Acting wealthy or expecting you're going to create wealth in your life? Well, I would think it's easier to expect it because there's less resistance, no more pressure. It's not a need to feel or be this thing in the present moment that a lot of us find it difficult to do. And remember, as I said earlier when I began this live, I said to you guys, I said, your mind does not work how the universe works. So yes, I would love to jump in being wealthy and act wealthy in the present moment, but your mind just doesn't operate like that. Your mind will say, wait a minute, this is like, come on, no, you're playing me, da 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 da. But if you just expect it, your mind may go along with you because your mind says, okay, this is possible. Okay, we expect to be wealthy, we expect to have this. So expectation is to still put you in the present moment. It also gets your ego under control. Your ego now cannot really refute you because your ego is also looking for possibilities. Okay, there's a chance. But if you're in the present moment, you say, I'm wealthy, I feel wealthy. Your mind says, no, you're not. And you will create a lot of resistance. So if you can act and be wealthy in the present moment, fantastic. If you can't do it, also fantastic. You can use the law of what I call this the law of expectation. So you have the law of assumption, you have the law of attraction. Well, I guess the law of assumption, the law of expectation may be one and the same. I don't know, that's up to you guys to debate. But the law of expectation, that's what I call it. And the law of expectation says that when you put out something that you expect to come to you, it comes to you a lot faster, because the one thing the law of expectation have is no resistance. All the other laws, you're going to create a lot of resistance because you're implementing something. When you're expecting something, it's freer. And like I said, I use the analogy of mail. When you send out a package, you get it back. And let me show you something about why this is so powerful as well. Because if you don't know it, when you expect something, you will get confirmations towards your expectation. Just like when you purchase something online, you'll get your confirmation number. Do you know what your confirmation number is to tell you that you are going to receive the things that you are desiring, your manifestation? Do you know what your confirmation number is? I'll tell you your confirmation number. Your confirmation number is synchronicities. Those are your calling cards from the multiverse to tell you that your package is on the way to you. So now you have that, you can go out and say, all right, I know this is coming to me. I got this. It's on the way. Fantastic. So that's something that may help you guys who are having difficulty in being the thing you want. Now, what the next powerful thing about what I call the law of expectation is, what it does, it opens up your mind for more imagination now. It's so powerful because when you're expecting things now, you know what opens up your mind? Because now your ego is on your side. Remember, you need the conscious to be in agreement with the subconscious. That's called alignment. And that brings things into your life. Mark, how do I join your community and what's inside? You can join my school community. In any of my videos, YouTube's going to pin comment section. You'll see it there. Post it. And also, there's a video here on TikTok. You can go in front of it and you can get into the community. Very enlightened things you learn that you'll never learn. There's so many things I can teach you on there that I can't even teach on here, which is, so it won't get censored. So that's the beauty of it. Now, once you start to expect whatever it is you want, that also has a powerful impact on what? Your beliefs. When you expect things, it raises your belief. And here's the biggest thing. Did you also know that all of us eventually get what we expect? You don't really get what you believe. You get what you expect. Let that sit. Think about that for a minute. You don't really get what you believe. You get what you expect. See, expectation is instantaneously. You can just activate expectation. With expectation, there's nothing to build. With a belief, you build a belief. You do it through repetition, you visualize. But with expectation, you can just turn it on, man. You can just get up one day and say, you know what? I expect I'm going to be wealthy and abundant. I expect good things to happen. And then let the universe, let your higher mind orchestrate it for it. There's nothing you're going to have to create in your mind and figure it out. You just say, man, every day I get up, I expect. So listen, I want to put this theory to the test for you. And I want to show you how powerful this is if you do this in your life. I would like you to do for 7 days. Just get up every morning for the next 7 days and just say the following. I expect great things to happen for me. I expect more money. I expect great things. And don't even think about how or when or just get up every morning and say, I expect today is going to be a great day. I expect good things. And if you do it for 7 days, I can guarantee you after the first day of doing this, you will see it coming through. It's the same thing. It's also living in the end. It's just like the law of assumption is living in the end. Because when you activate the expectation, you're activating your unconscious mind, which can only be what? In the end, in the present. It's what you're doing that's different about living in the end is you are freeing a lot of resistance from your ego. Remember, when you're trying to live in the end, it takes a lot of practice and discipline because you have to convince. It's easy to convince your subconscious mind you're living in the end. That's not the issue. Try doing it to your conscious mind. That's the problem. See, people don't understand manifestation is not just one mind, it's two minds. It have to be the conscious, have to be in agreement with the unconscious. Did you realize that? So when you live in expectation, you agree with your conscious, and then the subconscious automatically buys into it. So all of you should be applying the law of expectation. It is supremely more powerful. It gets you there. It frees up the resistance. Then you'll be in the end. Now, if you're someone who have your mind under control, then go ahead. Use the law of assumption. Act as if you're in that moment. But for a majority of us, a lot of individuals, you got to keep it real. It's difficult to do this. You know, you think it's, I know you see it all over the social media, and the teachers are saying, manifest. You don't manifest what you want, man. You manifest what you are. You have to be what you are. The universe can give you what you are. It sounds so fancy. It sounds so nice. But I got to tell you, it's not easy to implement, like I said, because you have to convince your mind to do this. But with the law of expectation, there is no need to convince. Your mind is already open, and then your mind says, okay, there's a possibility. Let's see what can happen. Your subconscious mind is already in the moment, and then you get your synchronicities to match your vibration. See how it works? So someone asked me, so, well, Mark, if you expect it, in a sense, that is who we are, and telling ourselves we are. You are 100% correct. But here's the difference. You're convincing your conscious mind that that's who you are. That's the missing key. That's the part that's going to shift the game for you. Most people, when they try to act as if, they are not convincing their conscious mind. They're trying to convince their conscious mind. And that's where they meet the resistance. That's where they meet the anxiousness, the ego attacking them. But if you do expectation, I guarantee you, your ego cannot attack you. It can only look at the power. It says, all right, let's see. That's not attacking you. Okay, it's possible. That's not attacking you. So I'm showing you a different format to view the creative process. I'm giving you a different angle so that you can see and say, all right, you know what? The act as if doesn't work for me too good. So let me go into the law of expectation. Boom, it turns on. Okay, I would like to put them in this way because they're good. Let's use an analogy. So you're on the highway, right? So you're on your highway. Let's say you have a 6-lane highway. So you have a lot of lanes, right? So your chances of getting in traffic is less. You have 6 lanes. So you can drive and do that. I would call that the act as if law. So you have all this. the law of expectation now, I would call that the express lane. So you have your 6 lanes, but then you also have this other lane where it's an express lane, where it's a lot faster. You're not going to get a lot of traffic there. That is the law of expectation compared to the act as if law. The act as if law is great, but when you do the law of expectations, it's even greater. So it just depends on where your mindset is, which one you want to implement, which one works for you. As I said, there's some of us that can jump in, act as if easy and effortlessly, brilliant. But there's most majority of us, you can't do that. It's hard to do that. But anybody can do the law of expectation. It's really simple. All you do, you get up and you just say to yourself, I expect today to be wonderful. I expect to make an extra $100 today. I expect my boss to give me that promotion. I expect that. And then let it go and walk and just whatever. Don't even think about it again. Boom. Watch how it comes into your life. Because the conscious mind now agrees it's possible. And once you have possibility, the subconscious can't refuse. Subconscious says, okay, so I don't have any resistance from you, conscious mind. Okay, let's make this thing happen. And you get it. I must teach you one important lesson. I'll repeat it again. You cannot manifest anything in your life without both of your minds agreeing on it. Anytime you manifest something in your life, it meant for an instance or whatever, your conscious agreed with your subconscious. If you're not manifesting what you want and you're meeting a lot of incongruency, you're meeting like up and down, it's you are battling one mind against the other. Yeah, you go ahead and manifest something and then 3 months later, you unmanifest it. That means one mind was tug of war. One mind won, then the other mind came back 3 months later and pulled it back, because that's what the subconscious does. So if you got to remember, to get something to stick and be consistent, you have to have the conscious tell the subconscious and they both agree it's possible. That is called alignment. So when you hear people talk about alignment, that's exactly the definition of alignment. I just showed you that on a mental aspect of it. All right. Another thing you must understand about this game is that everything that you are doing right now and you are experiencing it right now, it is through your understanding of awareness. The fact that you are aware is the fact that you are a deliberate creator of your external world. So you have to remember that inside generates the outside. There is no outside that generates the inside. A lot of people, that flies over their heads. Don't let that fly over your head, because there is no outside. There's inside looking out. So that means mind creates matter. And I must remind you, the most important thing to prove this to you, and I'll say it again, is that your mind cannot tell the difference between what is real or imagined. Okay, if that doesn't stuck in your head, let's take this one. Okay, the ingredients that make you aren't real. So how can you and your world be real? It's an illusion. Let's get a little further down. Let's get technical. The particles that make you and I, their properties have no physical mass. Yet here you are, a physical mass equation information. So the atoms, the electrons, the protons, they have no physical mass. They are mathematical properties of existence. They are energy. We observe, we calculate, and we say they're going to be in this position, they're going to spin this way, and we see that you cannot touch an atom. If you push your hand through it, you're in space. You cannot grab an electron. It has no physical property or mass. Yet, you and everything in your world is made from all of that thing. So what does that teach you? Here's something I want you to learn and which you understand. What it does actually teaches you and it tells you is that your brain is a very sophisticated tricking machine. Your brain is a sophisticated hallucination machine. Your brain is tricking you and I right now to make you believe that everything you're seeing around you has physical mass. It's real. The smells, it's fake. Taste is fake. Real is fake. It's just a dream that your brain is concocting, and it uses electrochemical sensories, what's called your nervous system and your brain, to send you to make it even more real. That's something you all need to know, or you should have already known if you're on this journey to manifest. Because if you don't know that, you don't know anything. There is no real, it's fake. Physical, the atoms have no physical mass. If the atoms have no physical mass, yet you have physical mass, something is off. Only one thing is off: your perception of it. It's your brain. It's telling you, it's tricking you to make you okay. It's like a hologram. So if someone put a hologram out in front of you, if you stand from a distance, the hologram looks like a real person. Oh, that looks real. But if you walk up to the hologram and put your hands through the hologram, oh my goodness, this is not even a real person. You know, they have really good holograms now. They had a hologram where they're showing some of these singers on the stage. I think they brought a hologram of Tupac. They brought a hologram of Biggie. They brought a hologram of who else? Queen, or one of these old rock stars. They had hologram shows with these people, and they put them on the stage, man. And when you were looking at them, they look real. Like, oh my goodness, if they didn't tell you it was a hologram, you know, but go on stage and go touch them. You walk right through them. So it looks from afar like, oh, this is real. It's the same principle with your brain. Hey, Michael Jackson, they have a hologram of Michael Jackson on stage. Really looks like the man. You wouldn't believe it. You can't tell it's not Michael Jackson. So you see what I'm showing you? That's the same way your brain uses your reality to show you like that. But until you go and you touch them, you're like, what the hell? That's an example of an atom. It has no physical mass. So you're living in a holographic projection, man. So if you're in a holographic projection that you're projecting, what does it say? If I could push my hand through stuff like this, that means, damn, this is easy for me to create. I gotta go create this because there's no physical mass. There's nothing that's set. I can change this at any time. There's nothing that's stuck or holding me back. I'm my own mind. I can create my own world. All I have to do is project it, expect it, receive it. Project it, expect it, receive it. See, project it, expect it, receive it. Project it, expect it. PER, the PER law. Project it, expect it, receive it. There's a new law made for you now. It's called PER. Spread that law. Project it, expect it, receive it. The law of PER. Game over. See you next time.